her outside shot. But one thing Aliyah Boston did that was really smart and really telling is she always embraced Caitlin Clark and the idea of playing with Caitlin Clark. You can go back to when she was interviewing her for the Big Ten Network and said, what would it be like to be number 1 overall, knowing that the Fever might have the number 1 overall pick. Of course, AB was the number 1 pick for the Fever, but there was never any resistance, never any pushback, never any worry about her shine being stolen or anything like that. And they've meshed so well together, including the meme, you're going to be amazing because you are amazing and all that. But,
we subsequently got to know Caitlin. When Aliyah Boston casually mentioned these 4 words on Candace Parker's podcast, they instantly went viral and sparked a flurry of conversation on social media amid a landscape full of made-up rivalries and unspoken animosity surrounding Caitlin Clark. Like a laser, Boston's unadulterated honesty sliced through the clutter. It wasn't a hostile or resentful moment. Rather, it was a deep, almost respectful appreciation of a strong opponent, conveyed with a smile that screamed volumes. This was more than a remark. It was a clear declaration that dispelled any assumptions about their connection. That was when Aliyah finally broke her silence. Not with a counter-argument, but with an unvarnished, unadulterated reality that startled those who anticipated drama.
In this era where even the I just had to talk about it again. I mean, I didn't have to, but I just did talk about it again because it was brought up, all the Clark fans who have come in and all that sort of stuff. Aliyah Boston has always embraced the idea of playing with Caitlin Clark and their partnership. And there's no resentment or anything like that, even, going back to college. And I think there was a telling comment that she made in her podcast with Candace Parker about even playing with Caitlin against Caitlin in college. There's no withholding credit here.
Both of you played for such...
This was a recurring theme throughout Boston's career rather than a new position. She welcomed the prospect of performing with Caitlin Clark right away. Even in a Big Ten Network interview, Boston talked candidly about the thrill of perhaps becoming the Fever's first choice long before they were teammates. There was never any opposition, pushback, or concern that her own prominence might be eclipsed by Clark's quick ascent, even though she knew he might join. This steadfast acceptance has been a defining characteristic of Boston's intelligence and moral excellence. A sharp contrast to the narratives that are frequently promoted by outside powers who are eager for confrontation. Her acts have continuously demonstrated a maturity beyond her year, speaking louder than any stage drama.
The following season to combat complacency.
Honestly, Coach Staley really didn't have to make any adjustments because we knew that teams were coming for us every single time we stepped on that floor. So for us, it was just, you understood what it took to win a championship the year before, and you knew that teams were going to give you their best shot, so you had to be ready. So the way we approached practice was always intense. So we didn't really have to make any crazy adjustments because we just knew if we wanted to go back to back, we would have to grind it. And I mean, we made it pretty far. Then we met Caitlin. Lame.
Ew, we just talked about conditioning and that game against Caitlin.
This embrace goes all the way back to their undergraduate years, which are sometimes associated with fierce rivalry. Boston shared insightful details about her experiences playing with and against Clark on Candace Parker's show. She explained how her team understood opponents would always bring their game and described the intense preparation needed for championship runs. She disclosed that teams were always coming for us, emphasizing the ongoing pressure. The foundation for comprehending her viewpoint on dealing with a talent like Caitlin Clark was built by this open analysis of her collegiate career, which was characterized by national titles and unrelenting competition. The grind was more important than rivalry.
His abilities enhanced her abilities, which we even saw a little bit at Team USA, right? And this is the thing that I think could take Aliyah's game to another level. She didn't hesitate to shoot the 3 here. Caitlin's got 2 defenders. AB's open, catch and shoot. That to me is the next step for AB. Is hitting that shot consistently, taking that shot consistently. Because AB is a really good passer, just like Caitlin, which elevates the team when you have, your point guard being able to see things that nobody can see, and a big who's also able to distribute the ball. AB uses her size very well.
Boston even made a lighthearted but impactful admission of the difficulty Clark posed when they jokingly referred to the tough game as our trauma. It wasn't a jab. She felt a great deal of respect for the player who had challenged her. Then we met Caitlin. Sums up the effect of Clark's individual play, particularly against Boston's strong South Carolina squad. Many think that Clark's effort against South Carolina is among the best individual performances in the history of women's basketball. Boston's admission of that momentous occasion highlights her understanding of ultimate greatness, even if it meant sacrificing her team.
AB uses her size very well, obviously. I think one of the big intentional changes she made this year was she trimmed down a little bit and was really in shape to run the floor. And, she went head-to-head with A'ja Wilson in that series, and there wasn't a clear winner. I don't think there was a clear winner. That was a back-and-forth battle, which is impressive for where Aliyah Boston is currently. But, she, again, has embraced not even just saying, Caitlin, then we met Caitlin, but when she met Caitlin as a teammate, she never met that with resistance. She only met that in understanding.
Most importantly, Aliyah Boston has never hesitated to acknowledge the extraordinary skills of Caitlin Clark. Rather, she recognizes how Clark's abilities complement her own. Even during their time together at Team USA camps, this mutual advantage was subtly apparent, suggesting future synergies. Boston understands that having a player with Clark's vision and passing skills gives her unmatched chances to succeed. One player's skill inevitably enhances the other in this symbiotic partnership, a notion that is frequently disregarded in the rush for personal recognition. Boston's basketball IQ and team-first mentality are demonstrated by this smart comprehension.
And has embraced not even just saying, Caitlin, then we met Caitlin, but when she met Caitlin as a teammate, she never met that with resistance. She only met that in understanding what it could do for her, what it could do for both of them, what it could do for the Fever. And now they've got this great relationship where the chemistry extends off the court, because AB even talked about her birthday and what she did for her birthday. Happy birthday.
Talk about this last weekend. I mean, listen, first you had a birthday, so let's talk about that. How did that go? TT, hard eyes.
A TT hard eyes. Yeah, I did post on Instagram, period. It was good.
Aliyah Boston has a clear route to improve thanks to this mutually beneficial partnership. A crucial point is highlighted in the transcript. There are two defenders for Caitlin: AB's open shot and catch. This is not merely a speculative situation. It serves as a guide for Boston. The undeniable next step in her development is to consistently hit that outside shot. Boston often finds herself with space as a result of Clark's focused defensive concentration. The Fever's onslaught would become even more powerful and unpredictable if she took advantage of these chances by taking and making threes with assurance. It's a development of strategy.
Say basketball camp, because Aliyah tried to skirt that a little bit.
That's the tough questions here. So who won that scrimmage?
So it depends on how you look at it, right?
Because
no, man, there's a final result. There's a winner.
Okay, but hear me out though.
We don't live in this.
No,
we don't live in this era. No,
okay, but we played 3 games. We played 3 games.
No, bro, you won or you lost.
Old ones won the first. We won the second. Then the third one, it went into overtime. So technically,
so you lost.
We won together.
No, you lost.
And then
what happened in overtime?
And then we had 1 possession each. And then Chelsea.
Beyond a point. Another underappreciated aspect of Boston's game that nicely complements Clark's playmaking is her passing skill. Aliyah is a very talented passer who can see the floor and distribute the ball from her position in the post, just like Caitlin. The squad as a whole is much enhanced by the dual threat of a point guard who can see everything and a big who can assist defense. Defenses find it extremely difficult to contain the Fever when there are 2 outstanding passers on the court, each working from a different zone. This leads to mismatches and unpredictable attacking flows. A key component of their mutual success is their common vision.
I was like, hey guys, it's our run to 2028. I would have paid money for that. So everything looked fun. TikToks, videos of the scrimmages. I've heard amazing things coming out of camp that Paige was hooping. And Caitlin's back to health, and So USA basketball's in good hands.
It's in great hands.
It certainly is. And there are some easy choices to make. I mean, Paige is going to be on the team. Aliyah Boston's going to be on the team. Caitlin Clark is going to be on the team. And even if, Aliyah had a joke about coming up short in those matchups with the old heads and the young and turnt crew.
Boston's dedication to raising her level of performance goes beyond technique. It also has to do with physical change. Her choice to lose weight and reach her best physical state this season was a major deliberate shift that allowed her to run the floor with increased speed and stamina. This commitment paid off, especially when she faced up against a strong opponent like A'ja Wilson. There was no obvious winner in their series, which was a back-and-forth battle. A demonstration of Boston's remarkable development and capacity for top-tier competition. She was able to compete against one of the league's titans due to her physical preparedness. The story keeps returning to Aliyah's steadfast acceptance of Caitlin as a colleague. There was not a trace of resistance when she first met Caitlin as a teammate. Rather, her strategy was based on realizing the enormous potential this collaboration held, not only for herself, but also for Clark and, most significantly, for the Fever brand. This anticipation and quick realization of mutual gain contrasts sharply with the frequently critical outside comments. Boston, who embodies a unique selflessness that characterizes their developing on-court bond, saw a road to collective achievement rather than a threat to her solo brilliance. Their chemistry extends beyond the basketball floor. It has a significant impact on their relationship off the court. Boston herself offered a touching story that nicely captures this connection. Celebration of her birthday. She described how she was able to attend a special dinner despite traveling to Durham for USA basketball. The noteworthy aspect was that Caitlin Clark went to Ruth's Chris with her and even shared a meal. The sweet potato dish was given to Caitlin. My favorite is it. She thereby received a small portion of it. Boston disclosed, emphasizing their informal, sincere relationship. They are friends sharing a moment in life, not simply teammates. This deep connection between Boston and Clark serves as a crucial starting point for the Fever, which goes beyond their star pair alone. Grace Bergerer has left her imprint, and Clark is also close friends with Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham. Boston and Clark have a really close bond. It fosters a cohesive team both on and off the court by creating an atmosphere that allows other team friendships to grow. Building a championship contending team requires this deep-rooted camaraderie among the main players, demonstrating that success frequently starts with sincere relationships and respect for one another. Another look at their friendly yet competitive dynamic was given by the USA basketball camp scrimmages. Even though the outcomes were quite humorous, Boston first provided a polite response regarding how to interpret the results in an effort to avoid the difficult issues. She did, however, acknowledge the result under lighthearted pressure. First, we won the second, and then the third. Overtime was applied. In technical terms, are you lost? She confirmed a defeat in the pivotal match by making a joke. This lighthearted avoidance and eventual capitulation highlight a positive team atmosphere where even defeats may be cheerfully acknowledged. The drama in the latter moments of the scrimmage was especially noteworthy. Boston described how each team had one possession during the dramatic extra period. The final arbiter, Chelsea, overreached. Boston let out a laugh and blamed Chelsea Gay's clutch heroics. This vivid remembrance to a stressful occasion that is still fresh in her memory demonstrates the intense competitive spirit that these top athletes possess.